Yes, Mato. Good boy, Mato. Come on.
He's just a big human teddy bear. I love him. I love him so much.
Good boy, Mato. I'm raising daughters. Like, put that into perspective. I'm raising daughters. Good morning, ladies. Good morning, Bob. I see you guys. I'm like the least qualified to be doing that. Nothing about my past life prepared me to be a dad to girls. So my whole life, I could have made a strong argument why my mother did not deserve forgiveness. I have a lot of scars on my head and throughout my body. Most of those are from my mom. It's not abuse. It was literally more like torture. It was ongoing, sustained, bone jarring, like literally bone jarring abuse. From as young as I can remember, I've had broken bones. There was starvation, sleep deprivation, humiliation. She also knew that her brother was sexually assaulting me and my sister. That's unforgivable. How do you forgive that? At 11 years old, I decided to leave. But I had no friends. I had nowhere to go. I was homeless. I was doing drugs, stealing food, clothes, breaking into cars for money. I dropped out of school completely. And around 15, I started becoming more violent. I'm going in and out of prisons for kids. They started shipping me out of state because it was really hard to handle. Being bounced around, I had to start fighting. I would just imagine my mom, and I would just take all that rage out on these people for no reason sometimes, you know. Then at 17, I end up in an adult prison that's boiling over with racial tension in Southern Illinois. That in order to not be picked on, you've got to be violent. And people got to think you're crazy. I wanted to be dominant. I was tired of being nobody. After 4.5 years, I'm now a gang leader. I was becoming more and more violent. I end up in this new prison in Wisconsin, starting a 6-year prison sentence. And then, I don't know how or why, I was offered a treatment program. For the first 90 days, I was only resisting, breaking every rule I could. I was threatening inmates. And then one day, the psychologist jumps in. He's like, we're gonna talk about something else. He said, tell me about your mother. I refused at first. He was like, either you do it or you're out of here. This is the last straw, like you're out of the program. And I just purged all of her abuse. And I mean, I don't think I was talking 10 seconds before I was just pouring tears. And he puts an empty chair in front of me and he says, your mother's sitting in this chair. What would you say to her? And all I could ask was like, why? How could you do that to me? And then he told me to sit in her chair and pretend to be my mother and respond to my question. And I didn't know what else to say, so all I said was, I'm sorry. I think that's ultimately what I just wanted to hear from my mom all those years. That she felt bad about what she had done. The first statement he made was, I can see that you're suffering. That was so important. Because my whole life, it had to be denied, and it was denied by everybody. So finally, somebody believed me who wasn't there. And he asked me, have you ever hurt anyone the way your mother hurt you? I started imagining like the parents associated with the people I had hurt. I saw my children's faces. And I just couldn't deny. It was in this moment where I realized I had so much hurt and anger and rage and abandonment, all these other things in my heart. There was no room for love. By not forgiving her, I was still living in the past, but I needed to continue to move forward and forgive myself. And so even though I felt my mom didn't deserve it, I needed to let it go. The next day I hated her, but I opened the door to the possibility of contemplating forgiveness. I walked out of prison with my associate's degree in human services, went on to get my bachelor's, my master's. I've been a practicing social worker almost since the day I got out. And I don't want to discourage other people from... Started a 12-step program called Formers Anonymous to be supportive for men and women like me recovering from violence, crime, and hatred.
We want to be on the positive side of that. That doesn't mean you can't go deep into the first step.
Been all over the world, public speaking, spreading my message on forgiveness and healing.
It's the human experience, and hate, no matter what flag you fly it under, it's the same stories.
Like, he just loves like no other, and when I'm really down, like, he's the person I call because I just want to feel better.
It's within our power to change what these things mean, and if all they mean is trauma, that's all they will ever be. You can either be trapped in your past or rooted in a positive now for a future. It's been a process to get here, but what once held me down now holds me up.
How did you get yours to look like that?
Just lay the fork a little flatter, and then instead of that, like...
I am most joyous raising my family. And though it took years later, I'm happy with who I see in the mirror most days here.